If you get a frame with a yellow lens and put it in front of your eyes, then everything that you will see will be colored yellow. And that's the same with life. If we have a negative frame, then every situation that we will be in will be a negative experience. If we have a positive frame, then every situation that we be in will be a positive experience. Welcome to Small Talk, small conversations with huge impact. My name is Alec and I'm your host for the show. And before anything else, I would like to let you know that this episode marks the first year anniversary of our podcast. It was supposed to be last week, but I wasn't able to make an episode last week because I took a short break. So that means that this episode marks our first year anniversary. So congratulations to each and every one of us. If you have listened to any of my podcasts and if you are listening right now, I just want to let you know that I appreciate you. I could literally have not done this without you. You are a huge part of the podcast. So if you're listening right now, I just want to say thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. So lumabas ngayon sa earphones nyo and yakapin kayo and give you guys a big warm hug to show my appreciation and my gratitude. But I can't do that. So I hope you know how appreciative and grateful I am right now to have you guys on joining me on this journey to self-improvement. It's been 1 year since we've been talking about different experiences, since I've been sharing my wisdom, my knowledge, my experiences with you guys. And you were there listening every single way. I hope I could hear more from you guys. I hope we can connect more with you. And I wish for the podcast to have another awesome year. We have achieved a lot of things this year, but I believe that we can achieve more in this coming year. So, congratulations to each and every one of us, and good luck to us as we go on with our journey. And lastly, I'm excited to share with you guys that I am going to be a part of the campaign Podcast United. Podcast United is a series of live streams featuring local podcasts to help raise funds for the COVID-19 frontliners via Frontline Feeders PH. This is in partnership with Podcast Network Asia and Pay Maya. With that being said, I want to let you guys know that I will be doing a live session, a live recording on Facebook. I will be doing a live session on Facebook, and that will be on May 7th. That's May 7th, 8 p.m. That's on Thursday, 8 p.m. So I hope I could see you guys and we could connect there. If you have any questions, any topics that you want to talk about, you can go and join me there and ask me there, and I will make sure that I will answer each and every question that you will send. If you cannot join me on that particular date and time, you can still be a part of that live session. You could send me a 15-second video or a 30-second video or even a 1-minute video where you share your insights. And if you have any questions or topics that you want to share with us on the live session, I will put that up on the live session. So please DM me, send me a message, connect with me, and I will answer right away. And yeah. So with those things being said, I know it's a very long intro, but today we are going to talk about perspective. This is a very special episode because this is like the main root. This is the deepest root, the why. Why I am creating the podcast. Why am I making episodes for the podcast? Perspective is something that I have been dealing with my whole life. Ever since I was a kid, I always tried and find different perspective in every situation that I've ever been at. So this topic has really been the foundation of the podcast. And let's dive in right now. I want you to consider footsteps. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, just consider footsteps. Now I'm going to ask you, what does the footsteps mean? You'll probably answer, well, doesn't mean anything to me. It means nothing. Well, you're probably right, and that's totally understandable. Let's try to look at it like this. If you're walking outside, walking along a busy street, you'll hear a lot of footsteps, and it won't have any effective meaning to you. But what if you're sitting home alone late at night and you hear footsteps downstairs or outside? And a few moments later, you hear the footsteps coming towards you. Now I'm going to ask you again, what does the footsteps mean? And right now, it has a certain meaning to you. The sound of the footsteps will have many different meaning depending upon what is has meant to you in similar situations in the past. It may frighten you, it may relax you, depending on what context your mind thinks you are in. For some of you, the sound of footsteps scares you, right? If you're not expecting anybody, you'll probably classify that sound as someone has broken into your house. Or if you've experienced any supernatural situation, you might think that there is a ghost inside your house. That's one context. Another context is that the footsteps can be classified as your spouse is already home. And this feeling excites you. This context makes you happy. Let it be known that it's just footsteps, right? I've asked you earlier, what does the footsteps mean? You didn't give me an answer, but right now, it makes you happy. That means that the meaning of any experience in life depends upon the frame we put around it. It depends on our perspective about it. This also means that if we change our frame, if we change our context, we change our perspective, the meaning of that experience changes instantly. One of the most effective tools for self improvement is learning how to put the best frames on any experience. This process is called reframing. And I believe that there are always two types of frames in life. One is a positive frame, and the other one is a negative frame. If you still don't believe me, then imagine this. Try getting a frame with a red lens and put it on your face. And everything that you look at, everything will be colored red, right? The same goes if you get a yellow lens, if you get a frame with a yellow lens and put it in front of your eyes, then everything that you will see will be colored yellow. And that's the same with life. If we have a negative frame, then every situation that we will be in will be a negative experience. If we have a positive frame, then every situation that we be in will be a positive experience. To further differentiate it, a positive frame is a frame of possibilities. It's a frame of opportunities, and it's a frame of faith. On the other hand, a negative frame is a frame of doubt. It's a frame of rejection, and it's a frame of fear. And I want you to ask yourself, what frame, what frame am I using? And I want you to be brutally honest, right? I want you to ask yourself if you are looking at the world from a negative lens or from a positive lens. If you can answer me that you're looking at the world at a positive frame, then I'm happy for you. Congratulations. I'm really happy for you. I hope that you share your frame with the people around you so that more and more people get to experience more and more positive experiences. If you will answer me that you're looking at the world at a negative experience, it's totally fine. As I've said earlier, we can learn the process of reframing. We can reframe our perspective. We can change our perspective, just like how we change the meaning of the footsteps that I asked you earlier. You can change your perspective. And I want you to make a declaration right now. If you've been looking at the world from a negative experience, I want you to make a declaration right now that this will be the last day that I will look life through a negative frame. Starting right now, I will look at life through a positive frame. I will change my perspective, I will change my thoughts, and I will change my actions. Everything will be done through a positive frame. And that's not an easy task, right? But it's possible. And I know that because I can recall a time in my life where I was always looking through a negative frame. Back in 2017, I was depressed. I experienced my first heartbreak in life. And I was depressed, right? And depression is a state where everything that you see in life is through a negative frame. When you're depressed, you are in a state wherein you subconsciously put every single thing in your life through a negative frame. Everything you see adds to your depression. You go to the kitchen, nakita mo walang malamig na tubig, nakakadagdag sa depression mo. You go outside, ang ingay ng kalsada, it adds to your depression. Everywhere, everything that you see adds to your depression. When you're depressed, a lot of people don't can't relate to this, pero I know some of you have actually experienced this. When you're depressed, everything that happens in your life is fucking depressing. It really is. Totoo. When you go outside, parang laging every single thing na nangyayari sa buhay mo parang tang ina naman no. Lagi kang mababad trip, laging madadagdagan yung stress mo. When you're in a state of depression, everything happens to make you more depressed. And I know that I've experienced that. And I have been doing that for almost 5 months until I had a perspective shift in my life. I don't want to sound religious. I don't want to sound too religious, but when when this perspective shift came into my life, I have never been so happy with my life. I have never been so contented, satisfied with where I am. And until now, I have brought that. I've never gone back to the state of depression. Never again. Kahit gaano kahirap yung naging buhay ko, hindi na ako bumalik sa state na nade-depress ako. I've never tried to look at life at a negative experience ever again. Of course, there will always be time na matetempt ako na questionin lahat ng bagay, na mabad trip, na maging depressed. Pero I am aware because I have seen another perspective where hindi naman dapat laging depressing ang nakikita mo. Na you could see things, that you could look at the life, wherein you can look at the life from a positive experience, from a positive frame. And once you understand na it's all about perspective, everything is about perspective. You can now condition yourself to try and always look at every situation in a perspective that will help you moving forward. Kahit gaano pa kahirap ang mangyari ulit, kahit ma-heartbroken ka ulit, when you understand that everything is about perspective, that perspective is the only thing that is important in your life. Kasi everything is just things, right? Without you giving it meaning, without the way of how you perceive it to be, it's just nothing. T-shirts are just t-shirts, right? The color red is just the color red. But what we give meaning to it is what makes it alive, what makes it meaningful. And it's all based on our perception. It's actually nice. Ngayon ko lang, impromptu yun actually. Nakakatawa yun na medyo galit ako dun kasi ngayon ko lang din na-realize, it's all about perspective. Everything in life is about perspective. Parang may once na nagkaroon ka ng once na nagkaroon ka ng added na perspective, makita mo na wala talagang taong malas. Your misfortunes, let's say nagkasakit ka, dinala ka sa hospital. For your parents and the people around you, it's stressful, right? Because nagkasakit ka. Nalagay sa alanganin yung buhay mo. But for the doctors and the nurses, they see it as a chance where they could serve people, wherein they could save people, wherein they could try to share their knowledge and wisdom to help people around them. It's that chance. So, a lot of people think na malungkot yung experience mo, but in reality, wala talagang wala talagang parang fix na meaning ng isang bagay. Malas ka sa isang experience na yan, nagsugal ka, malas ka, talo ka, may panalo. May nakakuha ng pera mo. You lost money, someone gained money from you. And everything is about perspective. And from that scenario, you could understand na, well, everything is about perspective. And we have the power to choose what meaning do we give to the situations that we are in. Right? So if you're going through your life through a negative frame, then I want you to change your perspective right now. And honestly, you're just one perspective shift away from an entirely new life. You just need that one conscious decision to change your perspective, and everything will be different. I promise you that. Having another perspective in your life can totally change your life. So if you're looking for change, start with your perspective. Change your perspective, change your life. Anyways, yun nga, some people look at life through a positive frame, some people look at life from a negative frame, and some people actually look at life from a mixed frame. And I don't want you to feel bad. A lot of people feel that way, and I'm not exempted from it, including me. Minsan positive, minsan negative. It's totally fine. It's totally normal. But I want you to do this exercise with me. I want you to list down 3 experiences that you think that you deem as a negative experience, and try to look at it from a positive perspective. Just 3 experiences that you deem negative, and try to look at it from a positive perspective. And once you do that, it cannot change what happened. It can't change the past, but sooner or later you will be exposed to another situation that is very similar to that, and it will trigger your perception on that thing. So if nabago mo na yung perception mo about that negative experience, once na ma-expose ka ulit sa ganung bagay, you are going to go through it through a positive frame. And slowly, by one situation at a time, we can add perspective into our life, and we can change our life for the better. And this is really important because if we change the way we look at things, the things that we look at change. I want you to remember that. If we change the way we look at things, the things that we look at change. Once we look at life through a positive frame, then we will soon share positive experiences. And that positive feeling will spread like wildfire. It will spread among your peers, your family, your friends, your spouse, your partner. And slowly, madadagdagan ng perspective mo. If you will take anything from this episode, I want you to condition your mind that you will take in perspective into your life as much as you can from your experiences and from the experience of other people. Try to always look at a perspective that you are not familiar with. Yun lang ang gawin mo. Always attract new perspective into your life. Always invite new perspective into your life. Because an added perspective can be an added tool as you move forward in your life. So for the next episode, I will be talking about 3 things to help you shift your perspective. Right now, I just showed you how important it is. How important it is. And I hope na nakita nyo nga na kung gaano kahalaga yung perspective sa buhay ng tao. So for the next episode, if you want to learn more about how you can change your perspective, then join me on the next episode. But that's all I have for you for today. Again, I hope to see you on Thursday on May 7 at 8 p.m. on my Facebook page that will be live on Alec Cuenca. You can search that. You could easily find me on Facebook. Just follow, give it a like, give it a follow, and make sure that you also share this episode right here dahil isang taon na po tayo and let the people know para naman lumaki pa tayo as we go forward. Again, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Sana meron kayong natutunan, sana meron kayong nakuha from this episode. I'm Alec Cuenca. This is Small Talk, small conversation with huge impact, and I'll see you on Thursday. Bye-bye.